Hey guys, Tomboy601, and a bit of a news video paired with an absolutely insane game. So we are going to let this one roll out through the whole time because you'll see what goes on from the beginning to the end. This is a wonky game. I think part of it's because there's no cruisers. So enjoy this beautiful B-roll of Azure Lane Yukaze. But there's a reason we're out in Azure Lane Yukaze. It's because of this tweet. What's wrong? You can't read Japanese? Come on. Don't worry, neither can I. Press the see this translation button. Thanks to that, we have this little teaser here. A Azure Lane collaboration. I'm back. Yes, the long-awaited fourth collaboration with symbols has decided. Look forward to collaboration captains with character voices and collaboration limited camouflages. Who will come this time? What are your predictions? Thank you for asking me that, Wargaming, in Japanese. I am now going to go ahead and go through my hopes and dreams for this fourth wave of Azure Lane. If you're not aware, Azure Lane, I think it's an anime, but usually what happens with Azure Lane is we get commanders that are a notch above the rest because of their abilities. So I want to go over 5 that I want to see come. I'm pulling these from commanders that they have on PC that we might be able to get over here. That's my assumption. But before we dive into that, the other thing I'm really hoping for, and I think this may hint towards, is we were teased with a sometime this year release date of the National Plus voice selection. If you don't know what that is, there's a standard voice selection and a national voice selection. National gives all of the standard commanders, they tend to talk in their native tongues, which I like to use. But if you do that, you're not able to hear the unique sounds of your collaboration commanders, i.e., like the Azure Lane ones, and you can hear Azure Lane Yukaze in the background go off. So that is, I'm hoping that this hints towards us getting National Plus implemented in this newest patch. I have not seen patch notes yet, but that is my hope, my prediction, my dream. Now let's get into the commanders I hope will come, and my hope for what sort of skill they will deliver. Like I said earlier, these are all ones that we have or that they have over on PC, so I think it would be easier to bring them over into the game here. Hey guys, Editor Tommy here. If you're a little one, these images may not be appropriate for you because, well, this anime may not be appropriated for all ages. I forgot to say that. Anyways, let's get back to future Tommy or past Tommy. Okay, so my first commander that I want to see come is good old Azure Lane, Massachusetts. We have the Massachusetts ships. Now, with a lot of these, the way Azure Lane usually works is it's named after one of the ships that we have in the game. So these are all ships that we have in the game. And what I went with these is I want the Azure Lane commander to focus on something that's already a strength of that ship and make it just slightly different. And for Massachusetts, what I want for that boat is something similar to a brawler skill rework, but one that doesn't penalize range. The unique battleship commander for the Pan-Europeans has something like this, where they get the Viribus Unitis, where they get a brawler perk where they reduce the reload of the ship, but instead of costing range, it costs, I believe, dispersion. And I'd love to see some sort of tweak on that. Something that allows you to build a brawler Massachusetts and have a little bit of a twist, a little bit of a fun time with it. I think that could be a fun way to build into that skill. Next, we have Azure Lane Graf Zeppelin. Graf Zeppelin, I made my voice clear on it. I was not a huge fan when it came out. They have since buffed it. I think it is a much more respectable carrier, but it's not the Graf Zeppelin I want. It's not the Graf Zeppelin I need, and I know this is a shitty way to do it, but I think they could sell us the fix to it. And if you weren't aware what my issue with the Graf Zeppelin was the distance between its concealment and its secondary ability is too great. So I want some sort of commander that fuses aircraft carrier skills with also the ability to go for a full secondary build that extends out the range a little bit more. That's what I want. I want either something that's going to bring down the concealment so that the current range on those secondaries is a bit more closer to its the conceal range is a bit more closer to its secondary range, or vice versa. I want something that's like, yeah, you're just going to build into secondaries for your Graf Zeppelin because lulz, memes, and fun. That's what I'm hoping for on Graf Zeppelin. After that, we have Azure Lane Mikasa. If you're not aware, Mikasa was I believe it was a freely given away ship, and it's a bit of a special ship. I believe it's one of Japan's first battleships, but it's a cruiser in this game. We have a video going over that, but I think it could be a lot of fun to see it. A Azure Lane Mikasa, something that buffs the reload speed of Japanese cruisers. Maybe it doesn't buff the fire chance like Azure Lane Atago. I think this could be cool because one, Mikasa's big weakness is of course its fire rate because it's a battleship masquerading as a cruiser, but then having a commander that is built around or has some skills to buff reload speed on Japanese cruisers could be a cool twist on the formula. It could be both beneficial for the name of ship and also the rest of the line. So Azure Lane Mikasa would also be nice to see. Last time in the Azure Lane waves, we got Azure Lane Aurora, which is was also a free ship at the time. So it would be really cool to see Wargaming give this commander away for free, possibly like they did with Azure Lane Aurora. You just had to do certain traits. You had to do certain, I think, challenges in order to get it for free. But that was a fun little bonus section to it. After that, the next Azure Lane commander I want to see in this group of 5 is Funshin. Azure Lane Funshin, if that name isn't familiar to you, Funshin's the tier 5 Pan-Asian destroyer. And this one's a bit different, a bit off. I would love for Funshin to have some sort of radar duration buff sort of thing associated to it. Funshin doesn't have a radar, but Gajamada and Hashieng, the tier 6 and tier 7, both have the option to unequip smoke and equip a radar to those destroyers. It's something that makes that line unique. It's something we don't see very much because that line is kind of underplayed a lot because it's not exactly the strongest. And I think it would be really cool to see a commander come into the game along that line where we get a radar duration buff for those boats. I think that could be something potential to spice them up, to differentiate the playstyle and kind of still stay unique and fair to that line. And the final Azure Lane commander I want to see is good old St. Louis. Azure Lane St. Louis is a cruiser commander for the French, and the build that I would like to see around this one is one that focuses on the main battery reload ability. Whether it be a duration, whether it adds some sort of buff when using main battery reload ability, like if it adds additional shell grouping when using main battery reload booster, something to buff that main battery reload booster, because the upper tier French cruisers now have that ability. Both Charles Martel and St. Louis both have that ability. I'd love to see something that kind of changes up that consumable just a little. I think it could be overall a grand time, and something that, like I said, differentiates the playstyle and gives us something special or unique. So those are the 5 commanders I would like to see. One other thing I did notice in that the Azure Lane tweet is, well, it says the collaboration will also have limited camouflage. What I'm hoping this means is we won't see something like Azure Lane Yukikaze here, the ship, where it's a separate premium available for purchase. Instead, it's something closer to the first wave, where it's just a unique camo. Right now, there's still Azure Lane Baltimore's out there who, well, for I don't know what reason other than, well, the people who are really invested in the game are better and therefore bought the Azure Lane Baltimore. That Azure Lane Baltimore never received the buffs that plain Baltimore has received. It is a inferior product, and I think it shows that when we have boats that literally aren't different from the tech tree, it's not great for us as a consumer from Wargaming that they will take the opportunity to not really buff it because, well, the spreadsheet doesn't say it needs a buff. Well, yeah, because even though on the paper they're the exact same, for some reason you're not going to buff the Azure Lane Baltimore. Anyways, I don't own Azure Lane Baltimore. It doesn't affect me. I just really like the look of that boat because it reminds me of like a British police car or something. I don't know. It looks cool to me, and I feel bad for the people who bought it, who kind of got a little left over on it. Anyways, guys, that is the video. Like I said, I'm gonna leave the rest of this playing because, well, as you can see, it's a bit of a time. It is something kind of crazy. We're already up at a 6-pack, and we are gonna try to bring it home. Our carrier, the Serov, has been struggling to eliminate this one destroyer that has been chasing him down, and well, enjoy the rest of it. There isn't too much action, but you've seen some of the crazy bits already, and I hope you continue to enjoy it. And as always, guys, if you like the video, go to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. See ya.
風様が敗北なんて。